Escalate. And we start the second quarter with the Ravens facing a 4th and 1. This is just the second time all season where they've trailed at the end of the first quarter. Have to go back to week 4. They were down 7-0 against Cleveland. That happened to be their last loss. Only 2 losses this year, to Kansas City and to the Browns. Jackson trying to get there. Oh, this is really close, but the initial look is short. David Long Jr., first one there for Tennessee. Jackson's trying to discuss the spot. Ravens indicating that he has enough.
Well, he doesn't follow Bozeman. He tries to cut up straight up the field behind his center, McCary. But right in the middle of that, remember we were just talking about Jeffrey Simmons. Well, Simmons defeated a double team, and that allowed Long to come through to keep Jackson, what appears to be just short of that first down.
Had to get to the 46-yard line.
Where the ball is, it's nowhere near the 46-yard line.
Just underway here in the second quarter. Titans believe that they will take over on downs. They clear the area for the measurement. It's short.
And that's the first time the Ravens have failed to convert a 4th and 1 all season.
Jackson running inside, and it got clogged up quickly.
Well, that's the key for both defensive lines today, is for the defensive line to occupy offensive linemen, let the linebackers run free, hit the gap, and that's exactly what the rookie David Long did to prevent that first down.
Mike Vrabel said with Lamar Jackson, you can't get frustrated if he makes some people miss. You have to force him laterally if possible. That time running inside, could not squeeze in between the center and the guard. About as good a start as you could have for Tennessee. Tannehill looks for the home run ball. Separation. Khalif Raymond hauls it in. Touchdown, Titans.
Wow.
A deep one, 45 yards. Tannehill, a dime.
Khalif Raymond is 5'8" and extremely fast. Great move there on Humphrey. Watch him lay out and catch the ball with his fingertips for the score. Another spectacular touchdown reception for the Tennessee Titans.
The last 2 passes from Ryan Tannehill have been touchdowns. And the Titans offense is locked in.
When Tannehill let that ball go, I thought he overthrew Raymond. But Raymond with a burst as he crossed the goal line and then tracked the ball right into his hands.
Dan Raymond missed the last 2 games, including the playoff game, with a concussion. Extra point for Joseph. And the Titans have... Crowd is stunned early here at M&T Bank Stadium. Tennessee Titans get back-to-back touchdowns. And the key now for the Ravens, don't rush anything. Play your game as Joseph kicks it off to DeAnthony Thomas. Thomas finds an opening, and he's hit from the side as he crossed the 25-yard line. That's where the Ravens will take over. Let's check out our Fouts Focus.
A couple of things to look at. Owasu on the blitz, and then Earl Thomas is going to come up to guard on Derrick Henry. But this route here is absolutely beautiful. Gets a very good corner in Marlon Humphrey. Turned totally around. You talk about a perfect start. The first quarter, and then stopping the Ravens on 4th down. Next play, a touchdown. Tannehill threw for 72 yards last week. Today, 71 already.
First down for Baltimore. Fake it. Jackson turns and floats it. Dropped by Seth Roberts. Catchable ball, incomplete.
The Ravens just appear to be a little bit out of sync right now. That play by Vaccaro may have distracted Roberts as the ball went right by and should have really been picked off by Vaccaro.
A #1 seed has won the Super Bowl 5 of the last 6 years. The Ravens were such a dominant group this year. They're just not accustomed to being in this situation. They didn't trail in the second half in those last 12 games of the regular season. Jackson. There's the fake, but the Titans harness him in with Correa, the former Raven, there to make the play. It's a 2-yard pickup for Lamar Jackson.
And it's been a rough start for Jackson. 4 carries for just 17 yards. That failed 4th down, and this really wasn't his fault. The ball just off the fingertips of his tight end, Mark Jackson, thrown a touch high. But then the frustration here after the interception, giving the Titans a free 15 yards. And then a dust-up with Simmons there. He's got to regain his composure at this point.
This team set the NFL record for most rushing yards in a season, 3,296. Play clock is winding down. Jackson, sideline route. And it was caught, but by a defensive player who was not in the game, Anthony Levine. Marquise Brown, the intended target, and it's 4th down for Baltimore.
And defensive coordinator Dean Pease brought the blitz from his safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And Vaccaro may have sped the clock up a bit on Lamar Jackson and threw that ball way wide.
So it's Sam Cook. Had only 40 punts this season because the Ravens were so good on offense. Khalif Raymond, fair catch called for after the 44-yard kick. Harbaugh's squad, largest comeback win for the Ravens in postseason franchise history. It's just 7 points. They did it twice against Tennessee to rally for playoff wins. Titans take over at the 28 on a give for A.J. Brown. Takes it to the outside, cuts it upfield, and Brown, the rookie from Mississippi, who has put together a fantastic year. Over 1,000 yards receiving. Gains 9 on the ground for Tennessee.
And he just embarrassed the rookie Jalen Ferguson here. Steps right up inside to pick up those 8 yards. He averaged 20 yards a catch, which was second best in the NFL.
But you mentioned last week, not part of the game plan. Throwing was not really part of the game plan. He just had 1 target against New England. Handoff, Henry hurdles for a 1st down. Just across the 40-yard line, and he picks up 4. Chris Wormley there defensively for Baltimore.
Well, you're starting to sound like a broken record, partner. Picks up 4.
Incredible season Henry's had. Of course, everybody looks at the big runs, but he said it's been even more impressive when there's nothing there, and he turns it into 4 yards. Deep one, incomplete. He rainbowed that ball over Tajay Sharp's head as he was matched up with the veteran Jimmy.
Did not go for the little fake to the outside by Sharp and forced Tannehill to throw the ball beyond both of them.
A couple of years ago.
But that type of run we just saw from Jackson to pick up the 1st down, that type of run knocks off a lot of rust. He went after that strongly.
Gus Edwards in. Jackson doesn't give it to him, instead throws. Incomplete. Trying to hit Seth Roberts. And there were a number of Titans defenders in the general vicinity. 2nd and 10.
Well, he's seeing a lot of zone defense out of the Titans secondary. And what's unusual, he's just 3 of 7 and only 1 to one of his tight ends. That was Mark Andrews.
And then the other storyline is the last playoff game for the Ravens. Jackson did not play well against the Chargers. It ate away at him during the offseason. And he said it's something that he thought about quite a bit. Getting back out here. He got booed. The team got booed last year in that loss to L.A. Knocked away on the floater to the sideline. Marquise Brown, the intended receiver, and Tremaine Brock, who was a late season pickup and has played quite a bit for Tennessee,
Jackson now has missed his last 4 because of that great play by Brock, breaking on that ball, getting his right hand to knock it away and not have any contact. But again, the Titans taking away Jackson's favorite targets, that is the tight ends.
And now it's 3rd and 10. Justice Hill is in there. Greg Roman trying to dial something up to get this offense going. Jackson steps and throws. Wide open, caught at the 42 by Marquise Brown. The man nicknamed Hollywood takes it into Tennessee territory to the tune of 30 yards on the reception.
Well, he's got all the speed in the world. And watch how the Titans just dropping into their zones. Good clear out by Seth Roberts. That allowed Hollywood Brown to make that catch, get up the field. Best play of the night offensively for the Ravens.
We have seen his ability to separate throughout the season. 7 touchdowns in his rookie year. 25th overall pick. First down. Jackson keeps. Not much there. Jackson looking for a flag. Fans looking for a penalty as well. Jeffrey Simmons makes the play for Tennessee, a 1-yard pickup.
It could have been a bit of a late hit by Simmons as Jackson on the ground and Simmons comes in with an elbow to the head. Jackson says, hey, what the heck?
Now Gene Steratore with us here in the booth as well. What'd you see, Gene?
I think he has a point there that's unnecessary, completely unnecessary on the play.
Some people say, well, he was a ball carrier, but that doesn't matter. Right, Gene? You can't hit him while he's on the ground with an elbow like that.
Totally agree, Dan.
Did that remind you of clowning against Philadelphia a little bit with Carson Wentz? Knocked him out of the game. On a give to Ingram, turns it upfield, and Ingram picks up 3. As he's dropped just short of the 45 by Simmons, who was bouncing back from an ACL injury. Simmons has made his presence felt in this divisional round so far for the Tennessee Titans.
And another 3rd down for the Ravens. They've struggled so far in the ball game, just 1 of 3. And remember, they failed on a 4th and 1 earlier in the first quarter.
8th play of the drive. Baltimore in Tennessee territory at the 45-yard line, still looking for their first points of the night. 3rd and 6. Jackson slings it to Mark Andrews. First down, Ravens inside the 30. 16-yard hookup.
You know, people talk about his delivery and everything, but by throwing it sidearm so many times, it quickens the delivery. And that time it was just enough to get it by Vaccaro and Woodyard and into the hands of his tight end, Mark Andrews.
So this drive remains alive for Baltimore. We will hit the 7-minute mark of the second quarter.
And remember, they started at the 10-yard line, so this is an outstanding drive led by Lamar Jackson.
They go with a more traditional look with Jackson under center. Fake it, play action. Jackson downfield, and it was held up there for quite a while. Marquise Brown in a matchup with Adoree Jackson, and Jackson steps in front to knock it away.
Well, this ball fluttered. You can see it's out of spiral there, and Jackson had time to come over, but this is part of the game plan. We talked about Dean Pease' plan is to make Jackson throw the ball to the outside, and Jackson will tell you this is an area where he needs to improve. That time the ball just got away from him.
And huge that Tennessee has gotten back Adoree Jackson. He had been out since December the 1st with a foot injury and looked good last week in the win over New England. Fake it. Jackson tries to circle. Titans are ready for him. And he gets drilled by the veteran Logan Ryan. Trying to take it to the outside, and it's a loss of 3 for Baltimore.
Well, really good job of eyes by the linebacker Correa there as he held his ground. And the veteran Logan Ryan had a huge interception last week. Correa getting congratulations on the sidelines.
Ryan had high praise for Lamar Jackson. He said it's like high school when someone just looks faster than everybody else, except Jackson's doing it at the NFL level. Drop ball, Willie Snead. Mistakes.
Well, you talked about Russ Ian, and This ball is thrown behind Snead, so it's a rusty throw. And watch Snead have trouble bringing it in. That's the third drop of the day by Raven pass receivers.
And it brings out the field goal unit, and Justin Tucker will attempt a 49-yarder. All-pro this season for Baltimore. The most accurate kicker in NFL history puts the Ravens on the board. He knocks it through from 49 yards away. Ravens have to settle for 3. It's been a frustrating first half for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
It's time to get a whole new perspective.
In the booth yet?
No. It never made it out of the truck. Kickoff from Tucker. Jennings, return man. Can take this one out. And gets belted at the 19-yard line by Anthony Levine Sr. Ryan Tannehill, so far so good for Tennessee.
4 out of 7 for 71 yards. This 12-yard beautiful catch by Jonnu Smith. And then Khalif Raymond, who only had 9 catches all season, puts a move on Marlon Humphrey and then lays out for this 45-yard beauty. Made it 14-0.
You think of circumstances and what Tennessee has faced over the last 6 weeks. They've been in playoff mode for an extended period of time. Fake it. On the boot. Smith gets leveled by Earl Thomas. No gain on the play.
Well, Earl Thomas came from center field to make this play. He ran about 30 yards and comes up with a strong tackle on a guy that outweighs him by about 40 pounds. That's what Earl Thomas has been doing throughout his 10-year career, though. Huge acquisition by the Ravens, one of many.
2nd and 10. We approach 5 minutes to play. First half here in Baltimore. 14-3. The Titans in front. Handoff, Henry. Henry takes it to the outside. Oh, the stiff arm twice on Thomas, and he's out of bounds. First down run for Derrick Henry. A workhorse for this Tennessee offense. That's a 27-yard rip.
Well, watch the blocking here of Taylor Lewan, 77, and Roger Saffold, and then the vision to get to the outside, and then you don't want any part of that. One time, and another time just in the middle of the back on Earl Thomas. Biggest run of the for the evening, 27 yards.
First down for Tennessee at the 46-yard line. A jump on that left side from Taylor Lewan. And here's Vinovich.
Ball start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, Derrick Henry is built for this. And if you look at the numbers, he gets better as the game goes on. So strong in the second half, wears out the defense. The last 7 games, his stats have been ridiculous. He was 74% of the Titans' offense last week. Second highest all-time percentage in the playoff behind just Eric Dickerson. Floater, caught by Henry. And he's hit down low by Justin Ellis, the man called Jelly. Limits him to an 8-yard gain through the air.
Why do you think they call him Jelly?
Well, I mean, I think we can surmise why.
Well, he's one of the big guys. He's 350. Brandon Williams goes 336. Michael Pierce, 345. Domata Peko, 325. There's a lot of jelly on that front line.
You were blown away at practice, just at their sheer size on the defensive line. I think you had flashbacks of some sort. It happens.
No peanut butter.
2nd and 7. Henry, he was met at the hole after he gains a yard. He tried a zigzag move and couldn't get around Michael Pierce and Josh Bynes.
Bynes, another one of those acquisitions mid-season. Former Raven. They bring him back because he knows the system. been a huge contributor.
And that's what John Harbaugh hit on in our meeting with him. The fact that the defense has been such a great story. Guys that were not expected to be part of this are playing a huge role. A huge third down here with 2:48 to play, first half. Tannehill on 3rd and 6. Out of the pocket. Tannehill delivers downfield. And it's dropped. Nearly caught by Corey Davis. For a moment there, it looked like it was going to be picked off. Tyus Bowser back there for Baltimore.
Oh, Bowser can't believe he didn't pick this off. Watch number 54 run with Davis. He locates the ball, gets a hand on it, and prevents Davis from making the catch. Great play by Bowser.
So it's Brett Kern time for Tennessee. DeAnthony Thomas is the deep man. Thomas, the former Kansas City Chief. Thomas lets it bounce, and a wide decision. Touchback. 50-yard punt, a net of 30. Ravens will have it at the 20-yard line with 2.5 minutes to work with way right now. DeAnthony Thomas called on the penalty for blocking after a fair catch signal.
And because he blocked at about the 10-yard line, it's a spot foul at half distance. So they'll start at the 5-yard line. And the veteran DeAnthony Thomas getting an earful from his head coach.
And John Harbaugh, of course, a former special teams coach in Philadelphia. His bread and butter breaking into the NFL coaching ranks. So that eats at his craw. Ravens have all 3 timeouts remaining, 2.5 to go. First half, Jackson out of his own end zone hits Willie Snead for a 5-yard pickup. Baltimore, the highest scoring team in the NFL this season, 33.2 points per game. They've been held to 3 in this first half. 2nd and 5 for the Ravens. They're just the 3rd team to average more than 33 points per game and allow less than 19 points per game. The 07 Patriots, the 98 Vikings, the other 2. And we hit the 2-minute warning. Ravens did not get a playoff.
Hosting the Chiefs, Titans linebacker David Long forced a fumble that Rashad Evans recovered. Outrunning Chiefs tight end Blake Bell, Evans' 53-yard return for a touchdown keyed the Titans' win, which kept them in the AFC playoff race. Another great return brought to you by Intuit TurboTax. All people are tax people.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Indeed, the world's #1 job site. And by Bud Light Seltzer. It's unquestionably good. Well, concerns for Mark Ingram with that calf injury. He's got a wrap on his left leg. We sent it down to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, this was the concern because, as we mentioned off the top, it's an unpredictable injury. That strain in the left calf, mild to moderate was how it was described. As you can see, he has that wrap on there. We'll get something official at halftime for his status, fellas.
Justice Hill, who's in, replacing Ingram, takes it to the perimeter. Kevin Byard makes the play defensively. 5-yard gain for Baltimore. Ingram was injured Week 16 against Cleveland. Such a huge part of this Baltimore offense this season. 15 total touchdowns, the most in his career.
And because coming to the end of the first half, we're going to see a lot more of Justice Hill. He made a nice catch on that low pass.
Hills, the rookie out of Oklahoma State. Jackson looks. Jackson fakes and throws it away. So a minute 47 to work with here. 2nd and 10 for Baltimore. All 3 timeouts, but the Titans have all 3 timeouts. So the Ravens have to be careful in how they handle this clock.
And by throwing that ball out of bounds, stops the clock. Brings up a 2nd and long. Everything going the right way for the Titans, and absolutely a frustrating first half for number 8 and his Ravens.
Ravens do get the ball to start the second half after deferring. Lamar Jackson hit by Correa. Back in Baltimore with a bang.
Well, Justice Hill is in the ballgame as a pass receiver. He releases on his route. That allows Correa to take the inside route right to Lamar Jackson. Correa had 5 sacks on the regular season. They're going to lose 6 yards on this play, and Tennessee wisely uses their first timeout.
Correa was a...
You know, new customers save over $1,000 on average when they bundle home and auto with Progressive.
Wow. And now, the Progressive Commercial Halftime Show, featuring Smash Mouth.
Thank you. Good night.
Now enjoy the second half of the commercial.
Even renters can bundle and save.
Where'd that come from?
Your kitchen. It was halftime.
But we talked about a spin move. Watch Jarrell Casey come in here and then spin back to the...
Forces Baltimore out of field goal range. Right now they're looking at a 64-yard attempt. Jackson trying to get back the yards, and he does on the hit to Justice Hill. It'll be 3rd down after picking up 5. Kevin Byard with the tackle. And another timeout taken. 18 seconds to play, first half. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. Congratulations to Coach. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's all coming up. I'm not supposed to know about.
Well, it has to do with beverages.
Okay.
Many.
Let's just leave it. Leave it. Let it sit there for a moment. I'm assuming he buys your beverages. Is that what it is?
Well, we'll see.
Right now they're looking at a 60-yard field goal. 3rd and 14. Jackson airs it out into a crowd. Oh, Marquise Brown! Hollywood! He snares it for the Ravens. What a grab!
A one-handed beauty. Just outrunning Adoree Jackson. Snags it with his right hand, absorbs the hit from Hooker, and puts the Ravens inside the 5-yard line.
Incredible.
One-handed all the way. Never even brought his left hand to the party. I don't know what's more impressive, the catch itself or absorbing the hit from Amani Hooker and not losing the ball.
Brown is a highlight machine, and Baltimore has used its final timeout with 11 seconds left. They've got a 1st and goal. This could be an immense momentum swing.
And again, this is where you're so blessed to have Lamar Jackson running the offense. His ability to create in small spaces are key right here.
The one thing you can't do is take a sack. Jackson on 1st and goal. Jackson stays upright, and he tosses it into the crowd. Good catch by number 8, front row, Harold Landry, the 3rd, with the pressure. Verizon halftime report. JB and the gang, latest from around the NFL, the San Francisco victory to advance to the NFC Championship game. It's all coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
Well, Landry led the Titans with sacks this year with 9, and that pressure there just saved at least 4 points.
Dan, if he gets him down, there's no field goal attempt. There's no possible way Baltimore can get on the field. And because Jackson tossed it away, it's a 22-yard attempt. Chip shot for Tucker. As time expires in